Buckeyes held off the top-ranked Horns 14-7 over 4 quarters in Columbus. Texas had 162 yards of offense through the first 3 of those quarters and no points. Prevent defense late from Ohio State padded those numbers a bit. Here's Coach Sark on his team's anemic offense.
Our ability to make plays has got to be something that comes to life. You know, I can design all the things that I want to do, but at the end of the day, the players make those things come to life. And we've recruited high caliber players who are highly competitive, who believe that they can make those plays, but we have to go do that. And it's kind of like, you know, enough talk, like we have to go do it, right? We got to make it come to life.
Golly, it was horns down at the shoe in week 1, but is it down and out? ESPN BET Sportsbook has adjusted a smidge. Texas went from minus 310 to minus 200 to make the college football playoff, plus 550 to plus 750 to win the Natty. Biggest fall, perhaps, is Arch Manning's Heisman campaign, dropping from the favorite at plus 650 to tied for 9th at 20-1. Though in Arch's defense, we've had just one preseason favorite go on to win the Heisman the last 16 years, Marcus Mariota. I learned that from a Pam Maldonado story last week on ESPN.com. Pam, team sport, so let's start there. What would you say to those looking to bet Texas to miss the playoffs at plus 160?
You guys know that I'm the most unbiased Longhorn in the country. I liked plus 220 preseason for the Horns to miss the playoff at plus 160. I still kind of like it, and honestly, I kind of like it even more. You can have the ingredients, but the ingredients sitting on a counter do not make a meal, and that's what I see right now. It's the same problems are still there from the last couple of years. There's nobody cooking. Early down inefficiency, lack of red zone creativity, no execution in big moments. Honestly, at this point, coaching is starting to become a true concern. Georgia is on the road, Oklahoma has an improved defense, and Florida and A&M better than last year. So there's realistic landmines for a team that is this young and bringing in a lot of not so much experience.
I got to tell you, Pam comes across, she's very sweet, she's very charming, but she will take that knife out and jam it right into the side if you're not careful, like she's doing with the Longhorns right here. Hard to disagree with a lot. One thing I'd say, she's reacting properly based on what she thought going into the season. For the people who really like Texas and then watch them go as a small dog to the defending champs in Ohio State and lose by 1 score, who are jumping off ship and trying to burn everything to the ground, a bit of an overreaction. Here's what I throw your way. The focus is so heavily on Arch Manning, people have lost sight of the fact that the Texas defense was incredible in this game. Texas actually outgained Ohio State by 133 yards in the game, but no one wants to talk about that. Defense held the Buckeyes to 203 total yards of offense and just 14 points. This team's going to have a good season. But again, they were priced to be elite because the quarterback was supposed to be elite. Maybe he's not, and that's why there was value under 10.5, and that's why Pam was all over no playoffs. So I'm not going crazy with this. I'm sticking with where I am, Pam.
Well, and that's the problem is you can look at the defense and think that it is super stout, but if you don't have an offense that's going to contend, well, then that defense eventually is going to wear out. Arch Manning, I believe in the long run, can absolutely be a great quarterback, but right now we're going to see the growing pains against better defenses. Texas needs schematic support and to keep him comfortable, and I don't see that happening. So if the offense isn't staying on the field, how long can the defense sustain itself through the course of an entire season? That's my question.
Pam, you more than held serve. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again in a bit when we talk U.S. Open. But for now, Joe, let's talk Heisman. New favorite, Garris Nussmeier, 8-1. Lenore Sellers, 10-1. We're not talking sellers, we're talking buyers. What do you say to those buying low on Arch Manning here now at 20-1?
It's a relatively hard pass. I could see why you're getting him at 20-1 now. Maybe he comes out, he blows out UTEP, builds this thing back up.
San Jose State.
Yeah, you got some games here where you can add the stats, and at some point you're going to get it going, and 20-1's probably going to drop. But maybe, just maybe, he's not as great as it was led out to be because, newsflash, he only had 95 career passes under his belt coming into the season, and winning the Heisman isn't exactly all that easy. So if you're going to look for some value on the board, some guys you want to keep an eye on, there's 3 or 4 I'd throw out there. Tommy Castellanos, Pam's boy from Florida State, looked fantastic. Marquee win, name value 35-1. Bryce Underwood at Michigan, freshman, that one's going to be tough.
Big spot next week.
35-1 if they can get past Oklahoma. Those odds are going to change. John Mateer, we threw him out there for you at Oklahoma, was upwards of 35-1, now 16-1. DJ Lagway at Florida, 25-1. Guys to keep an eye on as we move forward through this process.